How we doing, traders? Are you guys ready for another Money Mitch? Of course, let's go ahead. Let's get right to it. I did an interview of a rival today. I hope you guys caught that earlier. We're going to take a look, of course, what did the Fed say? And why are we getting this choppiness for a second there? To the close, we were looking really good, and then all of a sudden, boom, flipped right back down to the VWAP. We'll see what happened there and what exactly were in the minutes. And should we be concerned about anything else? Did anything surprise us? I'll go ahead and I'll get into that. And of course, what was hot and what was not today. Let's get into it. Welcome to Money Mitch. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now, we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch. Tears. What is going on, Born? Let me know what's going on in Genie. I can't even take a look right now. I'm trying to do this show, but I am seeing the stock. It is going up. You guys know about it. My man Born knows I'm holding a bag. Hey, we all get caught sometimes. Be transparent. If you're holding a bag, tell people about it. They know I'm holding the Genie bag, and I'm holding it tight right now. We are seeing a little bit of a pop there. I'll see what happened into that stock. But like always, guys, it's going to happen. All right, let's go ahead. Let's talk about what really went on in the Fed meet and the Fed minutes. As you guys know, the Fed reached the consensus of the March meeting that they would reduce the central bank balance by $95 billion a month. This is pretty big. The biggest before was $50 billion. And we talked about this yesterday, how Brainerd had pretty much given us the secret. She said about double that amount, and it was close to that. I mean, 95 billion a month, 50 billion. She was close. It wasn't 100 billion a month, but hey, another thing that was mentioned also in the minutes were that some people were saying there should be, kind of not a limit. If we could sell more, we can sell more and get rid of it. Of course, they got to get through $9 trillion. So it's not like it's a small amount that they need to take out. And of course, this is going to be done through months at a time. So it doesn't mean necessarily that they're just weighing down the market just this second. But strong indications also pointing towards a 0.5% hike rate. And so take a look at that. We'll see what happens coming on up. Of course, we'll see. And do they get into it? We'll definitely pay attention to it. Another warning is, and I like this quote. This was by LPL Financial, Quincy Crosby, Chief Equity Strategist. You guys know LPL Financial. We have Ryan Dietrich on all the time. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about that. And he said here, a warning to anyone who thinks the Fed is going to be more dovish in their fight against inflation. They got their message that they were just strictly wrong there. You're wrong. And the truth is, the Fed is trying to fight inflation. We'll see what happens. And if we can ever get kind of a handle on inflation, really, because what I think the Fed is pointing more is that they don't see inflation stopping anytime soon. So they need to step in. If not, it's going to continue rising and getting out of control. I already think it's out of control, but that's what they're saying. All right. You have a ton of Genie too, Born. Hey, we'll see what happens. Sometimes it happens, Hey, we all have a bag or two, I'm sure. All right. What's going on about that NFL running Genie up? Hey, can't go wrong with the NFL. I will let you guys know I am stepping into the sports industry also. So looking out for people who are interested in fantasy sports or the NFL. If you are that type of person, reach out to me. I'll go ahead and I'll try to bring you onto my team. I'm trying to do a little side project in sports. Always trying to expand and trying to keep going, man. So let's go ahead. Let's see what happens. Let's get into the market and see what we saw today. I do have the Genie chart up right now, but there you guys see it pushing. We'll see if that can continue to run. And is Sports Radar running on this? Let's see. Sports Radar. SRAD. Let's see where it is. It's not moving on it. I thought it would be maybe moving on it, but it's not trading in after hours there. not really pushing on up. We'll see what happens there. Genie getting a little bit of a lift. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY today was looking like it had a good bounce there. We had a bounce at 2 o'clock when the note came out. Then it pulled back down towards the 443s. Then a quick rally back up there to 449, ending the day coming right back down there. I talked about how near the end, I wanted to see us close by 448. We get up to that level and boom, right back down again, guys. So the last 15 minutes of the day, we were actually coming on the downside angle. So now we're going to watch that 449 level. Do we get back above that, or do we break back down towards the 445 level? There's like about a 5-point window there. We're going to pay attention to that to see if we keep seeing that downside action. All right. Do you play fantasy b-ball, Mitch? No. Honestly, the only fantasy sports that I really do is NFL, and that's what this project's going to be on. But hey, like always, Missy, if you want to reach out, go ahead and do so. You guys can reach out either to my Twitter that you guys will see right here at the bottom. So let's go ahead. Let's show you guys it right there. Story investors, go ahead and reach on out. I'm looking for people that want to write. I'm looking for people that want to talk about sports. And I'm going to try to be doing this on the weekends, away from my trading action stuff. But let's go ahead. Let's keep building here. Let's look at some stocks and see what we got out there today, guys. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the Qs. The Qs did its similar move, bouncing there. Today, bigger stocks, right? Apple suffering there and not really getting back on up there towards the 175. We talked about the 170 level and how this is so important. Look how you came down there today towards that 170.26. You had lows of 170 13s, 170 13s, both on the 15-minute double bottom there. So we'll see what happens in Apple at those levels. Microsoft also having a tough day, getting back there, back below 300, which is a little bit of a sign of concern, right? If you can see here, this looks to me more like a bearish chart than a bullish chart. You can see here that you kind of got back above here. You broke back down through the 310s, and now you're looking like you want to come back towards the lows. We'll see what happens in that name. And another one that I saw turn around today was Square and PayPal. I know that there's so many people trying to call the bottom in PayPal. I just don't see it here, guys. I think it could come back down and take out that 96, but we'll see what happens in PayPal. All right, so what is doing well right now and what's not? So let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. What's doing well right now is utilities. I mean, take a look here, guys. Look at this trend, and it's continued. Today, I'm going to call out some of the names that I like: NEE, Duke, SO. We talked about these yesterday. Dominion, today, another 2% day. SRE, 1.85. AEP here, American Electric Power. And we talked about these on Monday last week, guys. And we're not talking about this week. We're talking last week, Monday, on the 28th of March. And look where these have gone. This is the 28th of March. And you're going to see it on a bunch of these that they have just been rising on up. This one up about 8% since that call out. And the big thing there is not necessarily that I got it right, because to tell you the truth, guys, I didn't trade a bunch of these. I traded NEE, got stopped out on a swing trade in between the volatility, and didn't capture that move, that 5 to 6% that it went up. But I could have been taking names in here and taking a basket approach. This is why I need to go ahead and try to connect a little bit more with my sector and industry analysis to go ahead and get those trades on and not be looking so much at the intraday action, but catching these rotations and taking the trade. All right, let's go ahead. Utilities are about to launch even more. Yeah, I've been watching these, and I think you're right. It definitely could continue to push. An area that I told you guys to start watching was the water plays, and look how we went above the 169 levels today. We were talking about this yesterday on AWK, American Waterworks, and look how we're back above that 169. If that can hold there, I think this could get moving there. Another one that I was watching was CWCO. I've been talking about this one since the move that you guys have been seeing in VWTR. Now this is getting back up there towards 12. Watch for the VWTR to continue leading. Look how this one's been ripping. This one's up almost 50% since the 17th. And you can see it. It's been really a strong stock here. AWR is another one that you guys can watch to see if it starts coming back towards 92. And today, CDZI, I don't know this one, so just be careful. This looks like a kind of a cheaper, lower float type of stock, and it did push up today, CDZI. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what else was hot there. I'm going to catch up what's in the chat. Applesauce. Yeah, Tom Brady. Hey, you can't go wrong betting with Tom Brady. One of the things I'll be watching is, of course, my man Cooper Kupp. We'll see what happens. I got him last year. I'm going to have to pay up to get him this year. But let's go. Let's go. All right, 90% on weed stocks from 2018. Good luck with that, folks. Yeah. Cannabis has been tough, man. Today I did make a small gainer in Tilray, but if you can see here, it gave up all those gains. I was trading it through here on the VWAP looking for a breakout at 8, and it just gave up those gains. So just be careful out there. Those cannabis stocks, they just don't want to hold. All right, let's go. Agricultural stocks on fire, says Duff Bears. I could take a look at some agricultural. We've been talking about those. Let's go in agriculture. You look at basic materials and you go to agricultural inputs and you'll start seeing here. Let's take a look at the index and you can see how we've been going kind of sideways here. We really need to kind of break on out back towards the highs here. And so one of the things that I've been looking at is what are these names, right? And how are these names performing right now? IPI is the one that we saw today, really strong. So take a look at this one, Intrepid Potash, definitely holding on up. If you look at the hourly, it looks like you're trying to get back up there towards the 94s. This one's looking really strong right now. Of course, a leader, MOS, was our leader. It kind of gave a sideways action, looking for a continuation in MOS and, of course, CF. This was also one that trades hand in hand with MOS. Look how close MOS and CF are. Look how close those charts look. Those charts look hand in hand, so keep your eyes on that. And maybe one leads the other, up or down. We'll see what happens. Beer kills the bear mentality. Hey, you can't go wrong, right? Let's take a beer. I'll take a beer right now, definitely. What kind of beer you like? Let's see in the chat what else is going on out there. Mega Millions, MItch. Let's do it. Let's make some millions. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at what is doing well right now. Another area that we were talking about taking a look at, and I wanted to kind of see what would happen, is Ollie. Ollie is a department store. Let's go into those department stores and see what we found. All right, so if you go to discount stores, you're going to start seeing these that did well today. Dollar General, we talked about this $2 level here on the 5th here yesterday. If you guys were here yesterday, you guys would have heard of the setup on Dollar General. We talked about how we were going to look for that breakout through the 230 level. And you can see you had a dip in pre-market, but right out the bell here, you guys broke right through that 230 and went up there towards 239, 5% on the day there. Dollar General given right here on, of course, Money Mitch. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Definitely also moving up today, Burlington Walmart was one that we took a look at. Look at that 150 push out. We talked about how that was holding the 150 pullback on Monday. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a push towards the high. We talked about how it just needed to hold that 149.87, 150 area on any pullback. Today, right back to the highs there. Nice move for Walmart. And the one that I was looking at was Ollie. And you can see that one coming back here. Not looking bad too on the hourly. We'll see if it can get back towards 50 tomorrow. All right, what's going on out there, guys? Time to sell the growth stocks where I'm holding the bag in order to reposition after they drop some more. Yeah, it could be. Another thing that you can take a look at, fast disaster, is taking a look at maybe some covered calls. If you have this shares in 100 lots, you can look at maybe some covered calls to help you kind of protect that downside action. Or maybe if you don't expect too much action, that could also help you. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what's going on out there. The purple haze is very good. Hey, can't go wrong with the purple haze. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going here. Lived in DC for 8 weeks. A good brewery at every corner. Good IPAs. Well, I live in Colorado. We know how to do beer in Colorado. One of my favorite beers, the Great Divide, is out of Denver, Colorado. And of course, I mean, we have Left Hand, we have O'Doul's. We have so many good beer brands. I like some of the smaller ones, but hey, like always, let's keep it going. The Hendrix Haze, you can't go wrong with it. All right, let's go towards some of these stocks out there. Just to kind of mention, let's take a look at TAP. TAP was interesting. It was starting to go up, but let's take a look at this. I started looking at this one when it was going towards 50 above that. That's how you can see this kind of line. We drew this on February 23rd. We were seeing it break out of the trend there, and it did go up there. It went about 7%, but now it's also pulled back about 6%. So you got to be careful here. We'll see if it catches the 50 EMA, and that's this is TAP, so Coors, and definitely not a Coors fan. I'll tell you that. I'm from Colorado. I don't like Coors. I would rather drink like a Yingling, just to kind of mention a different beer. I would drink a Yingling over a Coors. All right, let's keep it going. We'll see what's going on out there. And what about BHIL? Let's take a look at that. Let's go. All right, so let's go into here. So you can look at food distribution, farming products. Today, tobacco actually had a great day. PM bouncing back there. MO pushing on up there. BTI. And a lot of times when there's trouble in the markets and trouble in the world, what happens? People get stressed out and they resort to what? Smoking, guys. That's what happens sometimes. So yeah, definitely we'll see what happens. BTI setting on up for a push towards 44. PM looking like it wants to get back towards 100. And with that being mentioned, take a look at Altria Group for a push out through 54 tomorrow. Let's take a look at those farming products that you started bringing up. I did see the Benson Hill mentioned there. Let's go take a look at, first of all, the biggest capitalization stocks in this. And you can also see here what it looks like farming products wants to break out. So that's a good sign here. I want to kind of bring the volume to see how we're doing on the volume in the MACD here. MACD looks like it's trying to hold here, bounce, bounce, bounce. We're going to look for that extension above. ADM was one that we talked about yesterday, starting to look good. And this morning, I gave out on Benzinga Pro TSN. So I'm going to watch for this one to start getting hot tomorrow. It did look good today. It was starting to push back up, but then, of course, the market turned around. It was pushing up there towards the 91.50s, came back towards 90. We want this bottoming action to hold around 89.75 and get back up through that 91 level tomorrow. Closing towards 92 would look good for us. Bungie here, not looking too bad. If you want to take a look at this one's looking like it filled the gap already. Now it's trying to get on back there. Calm is here. FDP, Dole is another one that we can look at to see if it bounces off the support. But let's go to the one that you were talking about here, Benson Hill. I actually like this one. It is sleepy here. Ripped on up last time, then pulled back all the way. One of the things that I do like is that we can start using some bottoming action here to kind of determine, okay, so if it does break down, where are we going to get out and what are we going to hold to? So 321 is that downside action. Where do I want to see it break out of? I want to see it start pushing through this high here. So 364. We're going to go ahead and put an alert here at 371 because I do think if this comes back, 4 is at least into play and maybe this 471. We'll see what happens on this one. This is Benson Hill. Another one to take a look at, PPH. That's App Harvest. This one had a run, has pulled back, holding back the pullback better than Benson Hill does. Because if you take a look here at the fibs, what are you going to see? 50% retracement right on that. I don't use too much fibs on here just because it confuses some traders out there. But you can see there, APPH, 50% retracement, holding well there. Could come right back up towards the 6. And that's a 20% move in App Harvest. So I'm going to pay attention to this one and see if we can break the trend line and then get on back up there. So right now we'll see if we get towards the 550s, get into the 38.2 and start retracing on this App Harvest. There's a couple other ones in here you guys can watch. Of course, keep your eyes on it. Look at this Vital Farms setting on up. I like this setup here on the 4 hour. You can see here how you've been trying to get back up there. You got up there, you pulled back. Now we'll look to see if this one can get up there towards 1335. I actually set alert on that one too. And there's some other ones. Just keep going through them. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I like to do is just go through some charts and see what stands out to me on the daily. So I'll just kind of keep rolling through here and I'll be like, okay, so what looks good? All right, so Benson Hill, interesting bottoming action. Cressley, App Harvest. That one stood out to me right off the back there. VFF, not the most. Look at this one, ALCO, looking like it's trying to break out through 39 on the high side. I don't know this one too much, but if I go towards the weekly, it'll clean it up for me a little bit. And you can see here, okay, so that held that pullback today towards 37. So that's looking good. We're going to look for continuation above 38.16, and ALCO could continue moving. Farm products. All right, Heffenweisen. Oh, you can't go wrong with that, man. I'm German, so I definitely know me a Heffenweisen. I actually got German citizenship, if you guys didn't know. Is Samuel Adams any good? I actually have been to the Samuel Adams factory. So one thing I will say about Samuel Adams that really impressed me was, the guy with the big beard in the commercials? We all know the guy with the big beard in the Samuel Adams commercials. Well, if you looked at it, when I was at the factory and I'm there doing the tour, I'm looking around and all of a sudden I look in the back and I see someone working on some beer and it just stands out to me. It was that guy with the big old beer, and he was taking a sip just loving the beer. And that kind of thing made me like Samuel Adams. I was like, okay, so it's not just a paid actor that has a huge beard and then they bring him in. No, he's a beer master. He works on the beers, and you probably have tasted some of his beer. All right, so what's the best beer ever? I'm going to actually go with Stone Brewery. If you guys don't know Stone Brewery, it's out of San Diego, California. That was my favorite IPA. That's what got me into IPAs, so I'm going to go with that one. All right, let's keep going. No beard net. All right, let's go ahead. Samuel, summer package. Yeah, Samuel has a good one. Apple, we already went into it. So Austin, if you want to take a look at Apple, you just have to rewind. Let's go ahead to some other stocks here before we get on out of here. I did see AMD mentioned there, so let's take a look at that. I talked about how it needed to hold the 108 levels. It kept holding here. We were going to look to see if it was going to get back above this trend, or was it going to reject there today? Today it rejected, coming back down there towards the 103. We do have some bottoming action here by the 102.50s and the 103.50s. But the question is, if we break that 102 again, we could clear out the 100. Is this a risk and reward level that you could go off of? Yes, we can always take trades if we understand the risk and reward. Does that mean that this is a good level? It's going to be always based on your own opinion here. To me, I think this is in a long-term here. You can see here, long-term pattern that came back all the way 100%. And so I don't think it's in this trend, and you have to get out of this trend to kind of change that trend. And right now, you can see how we've been pulling on back until we get back around this on the monthlies. I'm not going to be looking at AMD towards the upside, even though I do understand investment approaches near these levels. All right, let's keep going. What's going on out there? Have you discussed semiconductors? If you have a specific one you want to take a look at, Big Shaq, then let me know. I have no problem. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Take your gains from stocks and pivot to more defensive, unsexy stocks. That's not a bad one to take a look at. Today, if you shorted semiconductors, you would have made 10%. Yeah, there was definitely a day to definitely get short on those names. mRNA is going down. Let's take a look there. Moderna, let's take a look at what are we getting in Moderna. Looks like we're getting some sideways action, just been pulling back here. But some of the drug manufacturers did really well today. If you want to take a look at healthcare, since you're mentioning that, take a look at this here. Take a look at that breakout today we had there. That was an actual big ride on up. You can have ABBV. Johnson and Johnson pushing, man. I remember when it was down here breaking out of this level and kept pulling back into it. You can see here we kept pulling back into it on the weekly. Now we've really taken off there. Johnson and Johnson looking strong. Pfizer, take a look at that. Had a strong day today. Could continue on up through the 55. We'll see if this one can continue making moves. Merck looking well. As a cent. Look at this. Look at this trend follow. Man, we just had someone, Christopher Udall, that talks about the 10 EMA. Look at the 9 EMA holding so well here on AZN. Man, I didn't expect to see that. Nice little push there. I thought these COVID names would come back down, but you could see they're holding the gains. Get this guy over 100 likes. If I would have seen those likes, I probably would have just taken off here, but we'll see what happens. Run that like up for me. Let's get it up there. All right, what's up with GM? GM is struggling right now just because of what's going on and the change in trend there, right? And so Tesla was starting to bring the auto manufacturers up because it was moving so much, and it was starting to bring it into light. Like everyone was starting to take a look. Oh, Tesla's ripping. Maybe the other ones will start moving. We did start getting that push, and then you saw the takedown. So we started getting that push right here on Tuesday. Last week, we started getting that lift, and out of nowhere, boom, the market started to hitting us. And when the market is coming down right now, and you can see here, Monday, Tuesday, boom, we start coming back down, right? And so we need to kind of pay attention to see what happens here. Is that the topping action that you got in the market? And when you're seeing this downside action, they are not loving EV. I will tell you that right now. You take a look at Fisker. Look how it was going on up. It was looking good. It was pushing. And then what happens the last 2 days? Boom, right back down there. GM actually looks the weakest out of all of them. Definitely similar candle. It was pushing on up there to 29th. And from that moment, boom, right back down to those levels. QS was one that was interesting because we were starting to see some of the auto parts components here, batteries, starting to make a move on up. And then all of a sudden, boom, also the market coming back down. And so you got to be careful with names like this, because right now the market is what drives a lot of these stocks. And if some of them are just going to get drilled down, even though they have some good upside look, you got to be careful. Pay attention to see how many stocks are leading the rally, how many stocks are turning it around. And also, when we do see weakness, which ones are you seeing that are just falling faster than others? A clear example for me is whenever we start going down, I start looking to short what? I start looking to short software application names, because I've seen the tape on those and they look really weak when they start going down. Like Asana, I could see continuing downside action showing up in that one. Where's Monday? Monday is another one. I look for downside actions when the market's down. It just seems to drag, and I see it all the time. Ring, here's another one. Software application stock. These have been probably the worst ones and the ones that get hit the most, because a lot of these also have high forward PEs, high price to earnings. And if we're going to keep getting those interest rates to come up, those price to earnings got to come back down. We'll see what happens in there. Like always, guys, smash the like. I hope you guys enjoyed that today. LMT pushing for all-time highs. We talked about this. Could this kind of break on out? We looked at this right there on the 4th. So this was on Monday that we took a look at Lockheed Martin for that lift above in aerospace. But did you guys see the space stocks today? That's what we were looking for, potentially to see that turn around. SPCE, not a bad day there. Coming on down there through the $10. We're going to look for shorts on these because they do look like they're starting to turn around there. But definitely LMT doing well today. You guys can also keep watch on RTX to see what happens that one, if it can get back up through 100. That's going to do it for me from Peru. Hey, how you doing, man? It's good to see you on the show. Hey, if you ever want to come on and speak about some of your trades or something that you have, hey, go ahead and reach out to me. Coin is something that just keeps coming down, falling knife. I'm leaving it alone for now. See the legendary Sandy Monroe for his take on EV manufacturers. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'll take a look at that. We've had Sandy Monroe actually on Benzinga, so We'll see what he had to say. Thanks, Money Mitch. Hope you enjoyed it, Yogi. You have a good one, guys. I'll take care and get on out of here. Like always, guys, catch me tomorrow on live trading with Benzinga. We're going to be getting into that. That's going to be tomorrow, Thursday. Don't miss that. That's at 9 a.m. And like always, come live trade with us. If you guys are enjoying it, hit the thumbs on up. Let me know what you want to see more of right here on Money Mitch. See you guys next time. Let's keep it going. I used to know the Peruvian flake. Zen. What's going on out there? Lord Byron. Lead us, my friend. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good time. And like always, guys, keep working on those skills like you guys see me. Like I talked about it today. I'm not perfect. I'm going to be transparent, holding that genie bag, going to see what happens out there. Looking at my sector and industry analysis, learning more and more that I need to kind of stick with those sectors and industries that are working well for us so that we can be in the right names versus trying to trade everything under the sun that's moving that intraday, focusing on the sectors and industries and then going based off of that, always working to improve. I'll see you guys next time. Hit the thumbs on up while on your way out, and let's keep it going right here on Benzinga. We got something up next for you guys. We're going to get into GME talk. So if you guys are GME fans, stick around. We'll see what happens on that one. Is it time to sell it or not? You'll see next.